Okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. If you're watching this, this is a posted video, so make sure to please like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications so you guys don't miss a thing, because man, this is really big news. As you can see on the screen, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is out. Okay, so we're doing this live because this has been announced minutes ago. So if you guys are joining this live stream, make sure to please like it so the other T-SPLY subscribers can see what is happening. Now, I think we might have a statement from the president. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. And it's great to see all of you guys. God bless all of you. Loomer. Give me 1 second. I think we have a statement from the president. Is it?
This is Emma. She helps coordinate the volunteers who power the Oregon Food Bank. Each year, the Food Bank's network distributes nearly 110 million pounds of food, helping people across Oregon and Southwest Washington put food on the table. That's why Pacific Op...
Sorry, I was working on an Oregon video for you guys. Okay, here we go. This is going to be from the president. My bad. I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, let me know if you guys know who this is, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, DHS, effective March 31st, 2026. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Whoa. Our new secretary initiative in the Western Hemisphere, we are announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland. Man. Okay, and we also have the, so that's confirmed. That's straight from the president. We also have this.
I'm pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st of this year. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, which is a new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere that they're announcing on Saturday at Doral in Florida. The president says, I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland. So this comes amid reports that the president...
Now, some people are saying in the chat that this is a promotion, upgrade. We can do our informal T-SPLY polling. 1, if you think she was fired. 2, if you think this was a promotion. Or 3, downgrade, I guess, right? Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a promotion or not? Some outlets are saying she's been fired. Some are not.
And it was none too pleased about the advertising campaign money that came to light during these hearings, Sandra. And so just in the last 24 hours, we've heard a lot of rumors that Markwayne Mullin may be tapped. I'm pleased to announce.
Yeah, and somebody said lateral. Yeah, in my title, I did not put she was fired. I don't think this is getting fired. That wouldn't be accurate, but keep in mind there are some people who are saying she's been fired. Now, yeah, the timing of all of this is definitely notable, considering recently we actually had a hearing with Kristi Noem. In fact, I have a Minnesota video that's supposed to come out today with some statements from Kristi Noem. Let me pull up another clip for you guys. Just give me 1 second. We are all learning this right now. And obviously with all the Iran stuff and everything. Yeah, let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Because now, you know, this is going very viral. Hold on, let me pull up this clip for you guys. From Curtis. And the big question, of course, I have is, what is this going to look like now, DHS? Is it going to be aggressive, less aggressive? I am curious.
Breaking news into CNN. Kristi Noem is out as the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. We have a team of reporters on this. Let's start with Kristen Holmes at the White House. Kristen, it was, what, like 10 minutes ago that you were reporting that her job was in jeopardy, and now it's official.
Yeah, that's another big part of the story. I was also sent an article like 20 minutes ago. Hey, just so you are aware, it's being reported that Kristi Noem might get fired. Now, is this a data leak? I have no idea. I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong path. But keep in mind, this was being reported broadly that, hey, there's a lot of friction right now, and we think that Kristi Noem might get replaced or something might happen. This was reported like way before this.
Yep, President Trump has announced that he has fired the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. This is the first cabinet position that he has fired during his second term. Of course, the only...
And look, they're saying fired, so keep that in mind. Again, I cannot confidently say she was fired. I think the best wording is she's out or replaced. That is my opinion, but you know how it is.
Other high-profile ouster we've had like this was when Mike Waltz served as the head of the National Security Council. He was the National Security Advisor. So President Trump just posted this on Truth Social. He said, "I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st, 2026. And Boris, just so you know, this is one of the names that we had heard he was floating in these conversations he was having with lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The current secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas."
Which is why I also am not confidently saying this is somebody getting fired. Look, it's President Trump. You could be his best friend one day and the next day he'll go in on you. And I think he would make it known that you were fired. Now, I understand in essence, like, what it can mean to be fired. Like, some people will say, I've been fired with this lateral transfer because I like this job. I understand that. But when a headline says you've been fired, those implications are heavy with the president.
Our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere.
And I can see some of you are even saying, yeah, this is a promotion.
We are announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland. Again, this is a huge deal, Boris. This is the first time he is firing a cabinet member. He has been incredibly reluctant this term to fire, to shuffle any of his staff, any of his officials, because of the perception of his first term when he was in office, that it was a revolving door. However, as we reported, we were told that the catalyst for this was essentially this appearance that she made, this hearing in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, in which she claimed President Trump had signed off on a $200 million ad campaign that featured her asking illegal immigrants to self-deport. President Trump has now said publicly he didn't do that. And of course,
okay, so let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know if you guys saw any of this hearing. Again, make sure to please subscribe because I do have some statements from Kristi Noem in a later video today, actually in regards to how many federal agents are in Minnesota. One thing we have been investigating on this channel, of course, has been how many federal agents are actually in Minnesota and what are they doing? And 2 days ago, she said there's actually 650 agents in Minnesota. Tom Homan said there's about 400, and lawmakers are saying, I thought we're going down to 150. So keep that in mind. I think there were several statements recently where there's been a little bit of friction here or there, but again, who knows?
Of course, all of this is amid the fallout that we saw from Minnesota, from Minneapolis, and there had been pushback on the Hill and from many of President Trump's allies that Kristi Noem was not the right person for the job, but many of them had been careful to walk a very thin line, not getting too far out there. But clearly, we are told now that this hearing put Trump over the edge in terms of his anger factor, and now he has fired Noem, replacing her, with this Oklahoma senator.
I also want to point out, President Trump has not publicly said this yet. Again, this is not the debunking show. I'm simply just trying to let you know. President Trump has not come out publicly and said the reason why she's been fired is because of A, B, or C. We don't know that. Again, using the word fired, if you want to use that, you can use it. Just trying to let you know.
All right, Kristen, this is huge news as we are getting this, that Trump is replacing Kristi Noem as DHS secretary and moving her to a special envoy.
Also, real quick, breaking news. I have to point this out. The timing of all of this, I mean, man, I don't know why. Okay. In Nashville for the Major Cities Conference, where DHS Secretary Noem is expected to give a speech to members of law enforcement. So Kristi Noem is about to give a speech or is in the middle of this speech right now. Daily Wire is on the scene. Keep in mind, she is still the DHS Secretary of DHS up until the end of March.
Position, which is certainly a demotion and something that is meant to give her a little cover as she is getting ousted here. Kristen, thank you so much. If you could stand by for us there at the White House. Let's go to Priscilla Alvarez, who has been tracking this for us. What are you learning?
Well, I have been hearing from Homeland Security officials who are stunned. Of course, they had been talking amongst themselves over the last several weeks and months, anticipating that the secretary may be out soon, given a series of missteps that they perceived she had done over the last several weeks. And
for those of you asking, why are we listening to what CNN has to say? One thing we do on this channel is we try to explore both sides, and you can really see you get differing opinions. As we can see in our chat, a lot of people are saying, this is a promotion, what's the big deal? You go across the spectrum, she has been fired, this is really bad. You go to the source, the president, he's saying he loved her, but we just want to replace her. So that's what we do here.
One of those in particular, or many of those in particular, are stemmed in what happened in Minneapolis. Recall, of course, that surge of federal agents for that immigration enforcement operation where 2 U.S. citizens were fatally shot by federal agents. And it was the secretary who came out in that immediate aftermath calling them domestic terrorists, something that she was grilled on during the congressional hearings this week, but that also shocked Homeland Security officials that she would so quickly draw conclusions over such incidents. And recall, too, that President Trump, in the aftermath of those shootings, had dispatched White House border czar Tom Homan to try to resolve the issues on the ground. It was the most high-profile.
Now, the closest the president has ever come to that. Now, obviously, we have implications. Let's break this down real quick. The implication that, hey, we got rid of Bovino and we sent him back to his sector and we didn't hear too much from Kristi Noem. The obvious big implication was there might be some friction, or President Trump was not happy with the post statements. And the closest I think we can come to the president saying he was maybe not happy was he did come close to saying, Chief Bovino does say some things. Some things are good, some things are bad. Then we know that Tom Homan came in and he said, we want to start cooperating more. We want to have more relationships. So the implications are a lot higher than the actual statements. That's going to be up to you guys to decide how you feel about all of it. But again, the main storyline has always been, ever since the post statements with Chief Bovino and Kristi Noem, many people were predicting there was some sort of downhill spiral or downward trend of friction between Secretary Kristi Noem and the president. One thing's for sure, as somebody who covers this stuff, and my colleagues, if you will, many of us have been pointing out it's actually very difficult to now find public statements from high-profile officials like Stephen Miller. We used to see him all the time. Kristi Noem, she doesn't appear as often. Obviously, there's no more Chief Bovino, so keep that in mind.
Over the course of the last year of the secretary and the way that she was managing the department and the immigration enforcement mission. Now, of course, the White House said at the time that she was in lockstep with Tom Homan, but it was also clear internally that there had been long simmering tensions there. So all of this to say that it had been building over some time now, what was happening in the department, the management of the department between her and her chief advisor, Corey Lewandowski, who was serving as a special government employee. There had been multiple concerns from within the department about the way that she was handling things, even most recently when she said that she was suspending TSA PreCheck, and then the department had to reverse that within hours. So this has been just a shock for a lot of Homeland Security officials who, even though they thought the writing was on the wall with her leaving at some point, the fact that it has happened now in the wake of these hearings just has them all scrambling.
Okay. Let me pull up who the person is, by the way, as far as, because I think a lot of you are asking who even is this person. Give me 1 second. You guys are going to recognize him the second I pull him up. That's going to be Catholic vote. Or not. Okay, or not. That is odd. Markwayne Mullin. Here he is right here. You guys probably have seen him before. He's been going, I wouldn't say viral, but there's definitely more clips of him Let me know if you guys recognize him. Let me know what you think. Good or bad? Let me try to get some clips of him. Let's see. Obviously now everything is going to be... Yeah, here he is.
There's a lot about qualification.
This is going to be January 14th, 2025. As far as getting an idea of what kind of person he is, possible expectations for what direction Homeland Security may go in. Again, are we going to have a more aggressive Homeland Security or not? Keep in mind, Homeland Security is not only deportations, ICE, Border Patrol. There's other elements as well, so keep that in mind.
There's a lot about qualifications, and I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it, and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian. That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving.
And keep in mind, this is not like, okay, you're out, Kristi Noem out, you're in. He has to get confirmed, by the way.
On a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But you so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night?
One of the comments, I have to read this out. I'm sorry, it's Kiryu, Kiryu. He uses Google to look up facts. I support someone who likes to look up things they don't know. There you go. Shout out to people who look things up.
Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives?
Yeah.
Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes.
Okay, so let me try to find this clip. Oh, sorry, never mind. I didn't mean to cut this off.
I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too.
Okay. So there you go. You get an idea of how he is, and I'm noticing in the comments you guys are recognizing him, and it looks like you guys like him. We can do another informal 1 if you prefer him, 2 if you prefer Kristi Noem. 1 for him, 2 for Noem. Yeah. All right, so there we go, guys. That is all we have. So I'm sure we're going to hear from Kristi Noem at some point about this, or maybe we won't. You know, maybe we won't. 1s and 2s. Somebody put 6 zeros. Split decision. Yeah, this is a split decision. Typically, we're not so split here. Interesting. Look, there's no way to know until he actually, gets approved and does the job, right? So that is all the information we have as of right now. Again, I exercise some caution myself as far as calling this being fired. Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on. We got something here for you guys. Give me 1 second. Again, Kristi Noem is taking the stage right now. Give me 1 second. What's this about? What's this? Here we go.
Agencies. It also includes CBP, ICE, CWMD, which is countering weapons of mass destruction. So some of you may have gone through some of those trainings to help us detect some of the threats here in our homeland, and also some of the trainings that it takes as far as responding to fires and 911 calls in different specific situations. We have intelligence agencies. We also cover FEMA. FEMA is a disaster response agency, but it also is the agency that's entrusted to run the government on our very worst day.
So there you go, Kristi Noem. This is like minutes ago. She is doing her thing in Nashville right now. So, yep. All right. This is where we are at right now as far as this breaking news. We have, every time I say okay, we have more breaking news. Give me 1 second. All the clips are coming in. Eric, go to Eric. Where are you at? Here we go.
Together walks down the hallway on the phone there as he is named by President Trump to be his next DHS secretary. Let's listen and see if we can grab anything.
Let me get that letter. All right. Give me 1 second.
When did the president call you? When did he tell you, ask you?
I'll be back. I'll be back.
You heard it. He said, "I'll be back."
Yo, the media is so weird. Hey, let's lurk in on this conversation and see what he has to say.
So here's what I'm wondering. Was he really on the phone?
No.
Or was he pretending to be on the phone? Because, I mean, I've done that a couple of times. If there's somebody that I don't want to talk to,
I might have
who
done
sort
it
of
this
comes up to
morning.
you on the street, you grab your phone and you pretend you're on a call.
I mean, yeah, on the call, he's like, I'll go pick up that letter. We have continuous breaking news here. Let's go to Senator John Fetterman. You guys know Senator John Fetterman? We already have our first vote.
The time to have somebody.
Senator John Fetterman says, as a member of the Homeland Security Committee, plus ranking member of a subcommittee on border security, I'm not sure how many fellow Democrats will vote to support your colleague as the next DHS secretary. But I am
who's tough in this job. Markwayne Mullin certainly fits that bill. I mean, not just his status.
Somebody said Demo-publican. Hear you. It's the second time I read your comment. Demo-publican.
In his pedigree of being an undefeated.
That might be a new category.
MMA fighter. I mean, that tends to toughen you up a little bit, but the fact that he was in the House for a long time and now he's been in the Senate, he knows the inner workings of government as well.
Well, and John, he also grasps the issues that we're facing in terms of threats against the homeland. I've testified before the senator before. Mm-hmm. I've always found his questioning to be well thought out, well studied. And he had an understanding where you don't have somebody staring down at notes, but that knows this stuff off the top of his head. And what you need right now is confident leadership, someone that's going to be focused on the mission of the department, that knows what the priorities are in terms of the way these threats need to be looked at, is able to work collaboratively with the FBI and the Department of Justice, and, oh, by the way, has the support of the president and the White House.
Okay, so I think that's a good place to stop. Again, I do expect a lot of people are going to have different implications here. The only time we're going to really know what happens is when we have a press conference. As far as addressing, did she get fired? Did she not get fired? Is this a promotion? What's happening? Why is there a replacement? So that is where we are at. I thank you guys so much for being here. We reported on this within minutes of it happening, so I'm glad we could all do that together. Thank you guys again. If we get more breaking news, I will definitely... Hold on 1 second. Every time I'm about to sign off, we always get something. Let me just play this clip real fast. Every time. I do that to you guys. It's like the 9th time I did that. Devori. Devori Darkins. You guys probably know this man. He just posted this. 1 second. Democrats might be on board with DHS.
Who would be confirmed in the Senate. And usually the Senate looks at people who are one of their own, somebody who is known, even if you disagree with their policies, as somebody who's pretty confirmable. That we don't know yet. Chris Coons, the Democratic senator from Delaware, just a couple of moments ago, said when he was asked about Markwayne Mullin and whether or not he thought he could do the job, he said, we'll see, but he said it would be hard to, to do any worse, basically, than Kristi Noem, at least in the eyes of Chris Coons. This is something where this is going to be a safe seat in Oklahoma, where they could appoint somebody. You're not going to, change the vote matrix in the Senate there. It's going to be a Republican, and they're not going to, have any problems probably getting reelected, in a special election or whatever they would have to do. But they have to get through that process of confirmation. You might remember.
I mean, that's the other thing, as far as if you're going to pick somebody from the Senate or maybe even Congress, they have to get replaced. So I think the president obviously had to be strategic with this pick, that no matter what, he would be replaced with a Republican.
That really for quite a period during the second part of President Trump's first administration, that they had acting Homeland Security secretaries. And I think at the end of the day, we'll look back at those two hearings in both the Senate and the House of Representatives the past couple of days on Capitol Hill as not even the camel that broke, the straw that broke the camel's back, but kind of a hammer. I mean, it was pretty obvious to some people on Capitol Hill that Kristi Noem was probably living on borrowed time. But again, Markwayne Mullin, who's somebody, he's close to the president. He's somebody who is dialed in closely with the Senate Republican leadership. And, it would not be surprising to me to probably have a couple of Democrats who might vote for him because they like him personally and they view him as an honest broker.
Yeah, okay. So obviously there may have been, we don't know what's happening. I hate going down this route of it's because he hates Noem. We don't know, but one thing we do know, this probably was calculated. It had to be calculated as far as if Noem was going to get replaced, you can't just replace her with a random person that you like. I think there's a lot of calculations here as far as, again, if you replace her with him, who's going to replace him, and so on. So, all right. I think we're done. I don't know. We've done 4 different breaking news within the breaking news. Make sure you guys please subscribe. Make sure to turn on your notifications. Make sure to like the video. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for all your support. Thank you for being here. And I do have a video coming out here in about 2 hours on Minnesota. Ironically, Kristi Noem is in the video. So, and again, Kristi Noem is still DHS secretary until the end of the month. And federal operations are still continuing. So, all right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. God bless all of you. And please seek Christ. Thank you guys.